right now. As promised, guys, we're live. It's 7 p.m. I got my good friends John and Jessica from the Roland Cooper campground.
We here.
They're trying to adjust their phone. They're down at the campground at Roland Cooper down in Camden on the Miller's Ferry at the Alabama River. When y'all set up, John?
We got set up day before yesterday, but the wind here has been pretty brutal. We had some camper issues and some stuff like that. So we're trying to get everything adjusted. Had some plumbing issues today.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah.
It's always something. But you said you're gonna redo that stuff. You said you're gonna redo it.
We're gonna roll that PEX out and get it going.
There you go.
Had a couple of runs to the hardware store today, but shit happens, when you got a camper or a thing like this.
Oh yeah, man. Well, PEX kind of puts a nail in the coffin, man. When you find it's kind of once you do it, you're done. So, all right. I guess Jessica, you're running back and forth to work, I guess, aren't you?
I am. It's rough.
What time you got to leave in the mornings?
About 6:15. But this morning I took a wrong turn somewhere. It took an extra 25 minutes to get to work.
That's easy to do.
So bad she did it twice. Ain't she doing the way back too?
I don't know what I did wrong. I followed GPS though, but I still messed up.
She did it twice today.
Actually, I did not. I talked to you.
Man.
I had to come on.
Toby and Thomas, and Tim McCain, Chad Gillen, Charlie Rice, Ashley, Nicole Ford, David Bailey, Carlton Todd, Clinton Tyson. Hey, buddy, Tim said they're already there. So, Mr. Bill Lawley Jr., there's probably a lot of people already there.
There is.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, they are. We had some people stop by and talk to us, and we've set up some, worked on some live scopes already. We've worked on some boating issues for some people already. It's been fun.
Well, you enjoy that stuff, and I know, and and people kind of get in a panic and a tizzy, and they're like, oh man, and
No.
I've been there myself and had to call John, so I understand where y'all are coming from. So for sure.
I don't know if you said it. We're rolling live from the Slab Shack.
Yeah, they had the slab exactly. Slab. What is it? I keep saying Slab Shack. Slab Shack. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you roll through Roland Cooper, you can't miss it right now.
It's right there in the front.
We actually, Shane, we're over about on the down the hill a little bit, over by the second bathroom down there.
Okay.
But it's pretty cool. We had got a guy here beside us. He said there's a guy here that fished down south one time and won a tournament and donated the money back, blah blah blah. And Carlton Todd said, "That's how you need to get a look at your live scope."
There you go.
And so inevitably, he and Carlton Todd, who has won some stuff with us before on the show, are friends, I guess we can go ahead. Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit about the rod giveaway.
Oh yeah. We're gonna get into all that, man. But y'all are finally settled in, and Jessica's winding down from running back and forth from Roland Cooper to work. And
I did. Sorry, I didn't swap glasses tonight.
Hey, somebody wants to know what's in that glass. I think Jessica drank a little wine to kind of put up with John and wind down from work.
Well, hell,
after this week, I deserve a glass of wine.
I understand.
A glass of wine tonight.
I understand.
In her bougie glass.
She's got
it's my camping wine glass.
I had that crystal light in one of them cups, and they thought I was drinking rose red or red.
I know. You had the finger there. You had the whole little.
It looked like sangria. You had your
sangria. That's right. Travis ain't ratting y'all out. He said I went by there and all they're drinking water. Is what Travis said. Travis ain't ratting you out.
Hey, Travis has come by the past 2 days. We had some good conversation.
He's a good fella, yes. He's a good fella.
He got Joe Allen's other 2 rods that his outlaw crappie.
Yeah, look at that nice little banner he's got behind him. Exactly.
Yeah.
I need to get my big butt. Neil's saying, hey, move out of the way. You can't see power brakes because my big ass is in the way. So I'm trying to lean off to the side, but Let's see, Ronnie McKenzie's on here. Chad. Let's see, Linda Voles, Franks Hamner. Uh, let's see, Thomas Fowler. He said he's putting his live scope in the water for the first time Saturday.
That's awesome.
That's good.
Shane, I rode in here on this bus day before yesterday, and Don Gartman,
yeah,
his place right out by the front there. He's pointing toward his boat. He said, "Right here, I'm looking at the boat."
That's Don. That's Don. Hey,
yeah, he came up and I didn't have anything set up yet or anything, and I went down there and checked him out.
He's the mayor here.
Yeah, he said he's the mayor of this campground. So
he stays down there a long time, man. Because when him went fishing and he got some rods from Lost Creek, and he stays down there a good bit. He gives them hell down there for sure.
March, April, and May, he's got every month booked. He told me. So he's not going to leave until the end of May.
That's good.
He started doing it with his dad in 1981.
Man, ain't that something?
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Yeah,
that's good stuff. Don's retired, and I met him and Ronnie at CT Ward's. But old Tommy Randolph tuned in from Florida. Jolly Owen just tuned in, man. We got 70 people on here. We appreciate y'all jumping on here, man. We've enjoyed this thing, and people coming up to us and saying hey, and man, it's getting interesting, man, as this thing grows and people recognize us. And some people's wives will be like, oh, I recognize that voice, because yes, people watch us on YouTube, on TV, and it's funny,
We had the Crutchfields. They stopped by earlier.
Yeah.
His wife, he's got that guy service over in New Fallen.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a real fun weekend the next couple of days.
I think so
if
too.
You're coming, let us know if you're coming. We'll mention this a little bit later in the show too. Tomorrow night we might all try to go out to eat supper together, and so let us know if you're coming. And I think the only place that might be able to accommodate us might be the Mexican joint. So we might need to try to book us that back room or something.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, if we know we got 15, 20, we'll give them a heads up and stuff. But man, like I said, I appreciate everybody coming down there, spending money locally in the community down there. That's always a plus, because people don't realize how that money adds up. The groceries and the gas and everything else, man. And people appreciate it down there.
Hell, so, I donated to the community plenty today in PVC fittings.
John said I got to go to the hardware store. It's funny.
Twice.
Let's see. John, you hadn't been on the water, have you, John, all this week? You went out for a little bit.
No, I went out yesterday.
Okay.
I didn't go out today. I was working on the bus today. I went out yesterday, and hell, it blew bad yesterday and blew bad today. But tomorrow, I'm about to try to hurt some of them feelings. But
what's the water looking like? Jeffrey Reeves.
The watercolor is perfect. It's starting to get that little green color to it when all that mud falls out, and it gets that pretty little green color to it. Mm-hmm. Dark green. I would say dark green, but a greenish brown. It's starting to get that look to it in some of the areas I was out on yesterday. So
that's good.
If you can come. The wind's not going to be bad tomorrow or Saturday.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be light and variable. So man, it's been. Dude, people don't realize that wind's been 30, 40 mile an hour gusts, man. I could tell driving up the interstate at work.
That was big whitecap rollers going up the river yesterday and today. Like I said, I worked. I was messing around here today working on the bus, but yesterday it would have been a rodeo coming in.
Oh yeah,
from way up north.
Oh yeah, that thing it will get up there. I've been on it when it's got 3 or 4 footers coming down it. It will get up there and get crazy, and all that good stuff. Let's see. John. I know we need to. I guess we need to talk about the rod giveaway because people's going to be wondering, what we're going to do.
Yeah. Matter of fact, the last rod giveaway, I've still got a due out on it. Trying to work on getting it to him. I was just trying to save some shipping costs for Outlaw, and I'm getting it sent out to him. But I think somebody that's going to be here this weekend is going to take it to him. All right, so this week is the week to give away a rod. We're not going to do it tonight. What we're going to do is everyone that shows up Saturday, you can put your name. Shane's going to have a jar there. You get to when we're cooking at Bridgeport Saturday,
Yes.
write your name down on a piece of paper, put it in there. We're gonna have several different drawings. We're gonna draw for maybe a shirt or two, and Shane's got some jigs that were donated for this event.
Yep.
We're gonna give away a rod. It might be a little extra incentive to come out if you're not thinking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna try to be up there about 1 o'clock, 1:30ish. And we're not gonna be, and it's not gonna be dead on it. But everybody, we're gonna try to gather. They got a bass tournament, but that place is huge. We're gonna try to set up. You'll see us we'll probably go up top somewhere and try to get away, and we'll gather up there. And Go ahead, John.
If you want a CrappieKast shirt, we've got some left. The sizes, we've got some a few 2X's, some larges, some mediums, and some smalls. So if you want something for a kid, or if you come up with a kid, that's excited about fishing, just talk to me, and we would love to put the man that's staying beside us, his little boy was out there. He fished every day since I've been here, and I sent him on with a shirt. So we want to, if adult wants one, come pick one up. We having that, what do they call it? Slice it low, mark them down, and let them go. Or whatever say on
CrappieKast. They're left over from the Crappie Expo. Yeah, they got a bunch of shirts made for the expo. I see Jamie Hall's talking about a guy drowned at Eufaula yesterday, man.
Yeah.
That's bad. We talked to Chris about that earlier. He said that they hit a pile in there at Chinnahatchee. That's terrible.
Man, it's guys, when it's blowing like that, if you don't have to be out there, man, don't go out there, man.
Yeah.
I seen Jameson out on Grenada today, and of course Jameson knows what he's doing, but God, them waves are unreal. I mean, he's got a big 22-foot Ranger, but buddy, that's a dangerous place. Eufaula is, Grenada is, Seminole. Me and Neil, we experienced that, a couple weekends ago. It gets crazy too. I mean, you can't play around on them places like that for sure.
You definitely, you got to stay like places like Seminole and places like that. You got to stay on your map when you're running. Stay in that channel. Hell, I was talking to Greg one day, and he just got just a little bit of a channel on Seminole and been a prop chef. But it was my fault. I got a little bit complacent, and it happened.
Oh yeah, John. You get right near them buoys that at Seminole, and you're on a stump. I mean, you can be right by the buoy. It's crazy.
That's exactly what happened. I went in. I dipped when I should have dodged.
I understand, man, but your mom said to save her some fried fish, so we'll have to get a box and put it up. Like she can't get some anytime she wants to or something.
I know. Hey, we glad she's okay. She had surgery today. She had cataract surgery.
Oh, okay. She's doing good then.
Hey, Shay, listen to this. Mama and her three sisters, two of them went and had surgery together. The other sister drove them back, and they all act I don't know, ditzy, like they all like act like blonde, got a little. I'm not gonna say it, but anyway, they got a little.
I know what you're saying.
Little airheaded sometimes. I said, "Oh my gosh, I can only imagine Mama and her other sister coming out of surgery and come off that gas or whatever, and then the other sister trying to bring them to go eat at Cracker Barrel. It was, I bet the waitress got a heck of a time."
Oh yeah, it's always entertaining, when you see people like that together. It sure is. Jamie Hall's asking about the fish cookers. Jamie, I'm bringing my cooker, and Bill's bringing his. So we ought to be okay. I think we got Tommy donated about 6 or 7 big bags there, and Bill's bringing 6 or 7. So we ought to have a pretty good bit of fish.
Yeah. And I think I told Bill, make sure y'all show up with them thawed out the fish. That way we ain't having to fight with thawing out fish.
Yeah, I got the fish thawing out. I plan on getting some chips, guys, in the morning. I'm gonna get some to-go boxes. It's just gonna be just some snacks. We're not trying to fill everybody up. Just some people want to eat on some fish. But
I'm getting the fries and all. I got a fryer for the fries.
That's good.
So if somebody can bring a little table or something, that'd be helpful.
Yeah, we was. That's what I was trying to come up with a table, and that's the only thing because I don't want to have to tailgate it. We can, but I don't want to. But Bill said he took the fish out, so I got some guys bringing drinks or whatever. But it's just gonna be a little picnic type thing. We're really gonna be up there. Just Clinton said I'm bringing my table, so we're good. Appreciate it, Clinton. He's bringing his table. We're just gonna get up there and I'm gonna have some sticky notes and we'll put them in something to do, for the drawing. And I'll stand out in the back of the truck and really we're just gonna mingle and like you said, you'll get an opportunity to get on, look at John's boat and his outlaw rods. If you're thinking about buying one, the power brakes. I had a guy talk about the power brakes. He's like, "Hey man, you're gonna be on the water." I said, "Man, you'll be able to come to the boat, see how they deploy," because he was unsure, how they deploy and how they work. And I'm like, "Hey." But
hey, if anybody wants to buy some outlaw rods, I'm gonna have some 5-footers and some 5/8s, and I think 2 14s and maybe a 12.
There you go.
So, but I'm gonna have several of the 5s and the 5/8s. If you want to buy an outlaw crab pole, and if you want to see what I'm talking about boat flipping one, I can show you in video as well as on hand. I keep my drag set where I can flip a 2-pounder before it starts pulling drag, and then if it's over 2 pounds, I just put my finger up there on the spool and flip it in the boat. But
Clinton said save him one because he can't win one for nothing. Hey, Clinton, I feel you, buddy.
Clinton, we're gonna get you hooked up tomorrow, buddy.
I feel you.
Excuse me, I keep saying tomorrow. Gosh, I'm getting back Saturday.
Tomorrow. Friday.
Or tomorrow. I mean, if anybody comes tomorrow, holler at us.
Yeah, John will be down there. There's several people already down there.
Tomorrow night, if as many of us as we can, message Shane or I, so we can get us a list of how many people we're gonna have.
Yeah, man. If we get 15, 20, whatever. Hey, it doesn't matter. I'll make a phone call down there or whatever. What we need to do, and we'll get together. Like I said, it's just gonna be fun, guys. There's nothing really structured about it. We're just John and I. We have fun. It doesn't matter what we're doing. So, and Jessica, excuse me, it doesn't matter. We're just gonna get together and have some fun. And man, hopefully this thing grows, gets bigger and bigger. I'd like it to, where we could go to different facilities and have fun and let people, I don't know how the fishing's going to be. It really doesn't matter to me. It is what it is. So we're going to have some fun that we can control. So
yeah, you can catch plenty of fish right now. I mean, we hadn't caught any monsters, but I'm going to go try a different area tomorrow. And if you get out there and it's not going good for you, shoot me a message. And if I find out something tomorrow that I hadn't found out already, we'll be glad to help you.
Oh yeah. It could turn around any day, guys. I mean, it could get better and better and better. Right now you don't never know this time of year for sure.
Well, it's been so windy since I've been here. I hadn't made some of the runs that I would like. Yeah. So tomorrow I'm gonna trim her out and let her fly.
Oh, that's right. Well, you cover some water and get out there, and especially with the wind, ain't just awful. So, it's ridiculous. But hey, while I'm thinking about it, before I forget, CrappieKast picked up a new sponsor. She gave away a guide trip last year. Jessica Buckmaster. She has done moved on up in the world, and she got Buckmaster Property Group. She's got an office there, and she is selling some houses and listing some houses, guys. I talked to her today while I was on the treadmill at the gym, and we were talking back and forth. And she's like, "Hey, I want to come on board." I said, "Come on, let's try it, see what happens." But she's just a likable person and handles business. And you always want somebody you can trust, and you're always gonna do business with somebody you like. And I've known Jessica for years, and she's been straight up with me. And I'll be posting a lot more of her stuff because there's a lot of people that sell houses this time of year and buy property, and even though interest rates are up and down, it's some people are going to buy what they want to buy. So, but I appreciate her. So, I want to announce that before I forgot.
Hey, let's talk about some fishing. What is anybody done anything done well or
Yeah, Jason was
Jason was just posting
while ago, they went to Seminole. There it is, Jason Everett. Me and him fished last Saturday at Miller's Ferry. He went to Eufaula with a buddy. I think they kept 47. He said they dock shooted. He said they had some fun.
I'm getting some reports out of Eufaula right now that are just like they killing them.
Yeah,
I'm talking about done quickly killing them.
That's good.
Oh yeah, Lake Eufaula, Alabama, not Lake Eufaula, Oklahoma. But they're smashing on them right now. Everybody I talk to is going over there smashing on them. And I saw where some nice shellcracker got caught over his.
That was Avery Pruitt. Man, I had him on the. I don't think I deleted him. I didn't. There you go. Look at that. Look at that big old shellcracker Avery sent me. He caught some whoppers. Look at that. There's a cooler full of them, buddy.
You talking about a pulling machine? That shell.
He sent me that. He said, "Check this out." And he sent it to me.
Yeah.
Roger Roach is right there at Roland Cooper. He's down there with you. Yeah, there's Avery. That's what he was talking. He sent me a picture, and I was like, man, we do talk about them shellcrackers on the show for sure because they're fun, buddy. Looks like Amos is on Eufaula, Oklahoma for the Crappie Masters. He's practicing. Man, I talked to him the other day while I was at the gym. Had a good conversation with him. So, let's see. Kobe said I got my limit on Friday on the Tom Bigby. My 30th fish was 2 pounds, 1 ounce, and on Grenada Gold. There you go, buddy.
There you go.
Grenada Gold. I got some. I just threw in the truck because I found some muddy water last Saturday down in Miller's Ferry. I'm gonna go right back in it, hopefully. Catch a few fish.
For those of you that come, if we say some stuff that's not familiar to you, we'll have our boats there. We'll be glad to show that Grenada Gold and other stuff we joke about. We got it on the boat. I'll give you some of what I got. I've got some hand ties I tied. If you want to try one of those, anything like that, just let us know.
That's right. Yeah.
We can do that. That's why we're doing that. This is, just not for us to get together to talk about stuff that works. And, because sometimes I feel like we get to talking and it might blow past, because Shane and I talk about stuff all the time. And some of our conversations, you might not know what we're talking about. So this weekend, if you're coming, just come up and say, hey, you said so-and-so, you talking about Grenada Gold. What is that color? And I'll say, all right, it's right here. Let me show it to you.
Exactly. Yeah, we just kind of, I ain't going to say take for granted. We just get to jumping around talking and stuff. And, but yeah, you'll have a chance to look at all our jigs and rods and line and, what we use to be successful. And, it's not necessarily the law, but I mean, we do pretty good with them. So you can ask questions why we use it. It's going to give it. It's kind of it'll be kind of honed in. Like if the Crappie Expo, everybody was everywhere, and this will be kind of be right there, and you'll be able to see John's boat, my boat, and everything.
Jessica's boat.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Jessica's boat. John's got the other little boat. I'm sorry, Jessica. You'll be able to see Jessica set up too, man. She sits right there. She's set up just like it is. She's set for war too. So you'll be able to see the stuff she gets. There's a lot of women that want to get into it. May ask Jessica some questions. Hey, how'd you get into this and that and the other? Because she's real informative too. I promise you.
They need to ask her how she run that trolling motor out one day.
You on them?
She put me on them.
I mean, like
that. It's the funniest. All right, so she said, I'm gonna run the trolling motor. I'm gonna run the trolling motor. I was like, okay. So I get her to the brush pile. There's not a breath of wind, and she's just turning the trolling motor.
And he caught several fish.
I did. But
I put you on them.
You did. You put me. I said,
there you go, Jess.
It was. She said
it's bath water.
It was bath water is what it was. And she was like, she turned the trolling motor a little bit. She said, there they are. I'm like, oh yeah, there they are.
Did you catch fish?
We did.
Okay.
We did. We could have had it. We could have had it on 0.
She rests her case, hey. Hey, but we were talking the other day. You and I don't realize how much you move the trolling motor. When you're talking to somebody, you don't realize how much you do that. But hey,
I had old boy on the boat the other day. He said, "How come I can see your jig every time it hits the water? I can't see mine." I said, well, "Bud, I hate to tell you this, but you're not throwing it in the cone."
That's exactly right.
I try to keep it on the fish, And, you know, he would throw, and then he's like, "You moved off the fish." I said, "Yeah, I was trying to look for your jig." And I don't, you know, you don't want to be ugly about it when somebody's on a boat with you.
Yes.
But, you know, and at the end of the day, you know, they got to be frustrated. I'm like, you're consistently throwing right.
Exactly. Yes.
This daggone Major League Baseball player, you know, I'm like, I said, "Bud," I said, "Wherever you think you're throwing, throw about 3 to 4 feet to the left of where you think you need to throw."
That's exactly right, John.
And if you're fishing together, you both throw in the cone, and like the fish starts chasing the other one, then you're kind of left astray.
Well,
I'm saying like you can both throw in the same cone, and like whoever, like it could be me or him. If the fish starts chasing that jig, he's gonna follow whoever's jig is facing.
Exactly. That's exactly
right. That person's kind of left just.
Yeah. Well, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, just keep going.
Especially if you're on school, you know.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
I mean, typically you want to pick up the jig that gets recognized first, you know.
Oh yeah, that way you can close. If that person can see to speed up, slow down, or whatever, you know.
Well, it is. Sometimes we'll both be reeling, and we're not sure whose jig is following.
Oh yeah.
And all of a sudden, one of us will be like, "Pow!"
Yeah.
And then
that's when the shit talking starts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Oh my gosh. This is the worst one in the world.
Oh, I know. I know.
Yeah, Shane knows that he better have the Kevlar vest on when he gets around Jessica.
Oh yeah, she is not going to take it lightly on you whatsoever. I promise you. Hey, she is going to light you up, man. But hey, you know, hey, that's what makes it fun, though. But yeah, you're right, John. It is people. I think it's funny when people cast and start trying to jerk their jig up and down, trying to magically appear. If it's not in the cone, it's not going to show up. You know, that's just the thing. You know, it sure is. But yeah, man, there's a technique to it for sure. Oh, Corey, he's talking about catching without forward. Like, Corey's done caught up in the forward-facing sonar hating stuff, man. I get so tired of listening to that stuff. It's done got ridiculous, man.
I mean, you can't pay. Like, one of the ones that's hating so bad is a Humminbird guy.
Yeah.
And I can understand why he's hating.
Yeah, they're trash. Yeah, their stuff's not trash. It's not real up to speed. It's not. I ain't gonna say trash. It's just not up to speed with some of them, you know. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's you know, there's such a fine show. Hey, if they make dynamite legal and you want to do it, I don't give a crap. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. You know.
What's that?
What the Jerry Clower said?
Oh, yeah.
said he handed him a piece of dynamite and said, "Whoa, what's this?" He said, "You go fish too?"
Hey, but you know that's it. I really don't. It doesn't matter. Negativity I don't like it around me. I really don't care. So you know, I don't. I've caught them without it, caught them with it. But I will tell you this, guys: you can take a person that's non-experienced that can reel and have some type of rhythm and put them on fish with that live scope, and they have a great memory and they catch a lot of fish. So you can hate on that all you want, but I promise you that's what happens a lot. So you know.
What the good thing right now though is you can find a structure and drop stuff on it and catch fish.
Oh yeah.
You know, you can do a lot of visual fishing.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's kind of like somebody seeing a fish on the bed. You know, it's just that we talked about. You know.
Well, you know, I'll describe a bed fishing. They throw a white crawl out there in front of a female, shake it and aggravate it enough where hope that grabs it with its mouth and they don't snag it. They set the hook on it, watch it, throw it in the live well, take it off its bed, weigh it in, and then the fish has lost its bed. But they want to hate on live scope. I really don't understand this. You know, so really it's tit for tat. It really doesn't matter. We'll get off this soapbox because, you know, I enjoy using it. And sometimes, like Corey was saying, you can throw on the weed edge and catch them all day. You don't even have to look. But that's some good days, you know.
That's a good question right there from Rob Thumper Rider.
Yeah, this one right here. You guys use split shot or bullet weight above the jig. There you go.
But I have done some of everything through the years. Okay, so just got to lean over for her. She's trying to hide.
Hey, Jessica, everybody done seen your bougie cup. You might as well not even.
All right, so he asked about.
You might as well hold your pinky up.
I'm going to call you out. Hey, so anyway, so he's asking about a split shot above a jig. All right, so
Yes.
I I don't know what it is. Sometimes that lighter jig, I like to throw that 30 seconds, and I'll put a tiny split shot above it and bring it over. I've done that. I on like dropping on long pole. I've taken a big split shot, but my problem with the big split shot is the jig seems to get hung over the top of it because it's round. So
Yeah.
if you take that bullet weight and peg it because it's like tapered at the top of it, the jig, if it's floating above the bullet weight, it'll still fall back over and doesn't get hung as much.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll double stack bullets just so I can keep that streamlined slenderness. If I want to go to a half, where I'm like chasing a fish and just pushing up on it, with a jig below it. But as far as it's putting a weight above a jig casting, I've really gotten away from that. I used to do, all kind of stuff. I would throw 2 30-second ounces,
Oh yeah.
like almost like what the rig people use to catch skipjack.
Yeah.
I would do that at time, like in schools. It really helped in schools because you could like drop a jig down in the school as far as keeping one up above it, and you can get a lot of strikes like that. I'd also do it on loaded brush piles like that. But the problem, anytime you throw a double something above the other one, you have the tendency of the bottom jig getting hung on the top, whether it be split shot or a second jig. But if you're going to throw something over the top of something, bullet weight is the best thing is to keep it where it doesn't get hung as bad.
Yeah, I started buying those little tungsten bullet weights, John. In Florida, in Florida, those big blackfish are real bad about coming up and just pushing your bait.
Yeah.
And so I would take a 30-second, the smallest jig are those tadpoles that Limits makes. And I'd get the smallest jig and put a little 30-second above it where I could kill it in that school in front of that fish. And when they would come up and try to just push my bait, they would get it. Because if they open that mouth just slightly, that little hook would sting them. That little hook you put me on. I tell that story all the time. I was hating on that little hook until I started whopping fish on it. And I'm like, hey, don't make fun of my little Limits tackle little hook.
Hey, Big Ray was hating on the little hook. He said, I think you sent me the wrong thing. So I went in there. I said, you talking about this one right here? And I sent him a picture of it. He said, I don't know what I was doing. I said, you were just missing fish.
They do, man. People don't understand. They come up and push that bait. It's like they say psych or like, oh, I could have got you. You don't know what they're thinking, but they'll come up and just pull.
I don't know if anybody's ever watched this before. I hate that we're always talking about forward face and so on. Because
I know, but it's something you see. You can physically see it.
You can see so many things. So a lot of times that black crap will come up back behind that bait, and it'll pull it in and let it go. Pull it in and let it go. And the sensitivity of your rod tip, if you see it, you can pop it to that fish. When you see him get up very close behind it, you don't need to necessarily watch that screen anymore. You need to watch where that line's going in the water and waiting for some deviation there. Because he'll pull. It might be 3 times that a black crappie in one cast can suck that jig in and spit it out, and you never feel a thump.
That's exactly right.
So you could have caught that fish several times, and then once he gets to the surface, he's not going to do it anymore. So a lot of people are like, well, he followed the jig. Well, a lot of times he sucked that bait in a couple times and spit it back out, and you don't even know it.
So what John's saying, guys, like when that fish is approaching your jig, I can give you an example with this jig. When that fish is approaching your jig, don't necessarily just start watching your line out of the corner of your eye subconsciously if you can, and the screen. You don't have to look at the screen. And you see your line just twitch or get slack in it, better be leaning back on it.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. So, but Jessica, she's got a tendency to screen set, and she misses some fish, but I got her where she watches the line more now. So when the fish starts following her jig, I'll turn the trolling motor where she can't see the screen anymore and see the fish, and she'll catch more fish because she's not like totally reliant upon the screen. All right, so if you've got the screen or you got your noise reject turned up to high, it's going to put more of a delay in what you're seeing on the screen to what's reality.
You're exactly right, man.
You might miss some fish that just might have sucked in. It's gonna be worse. The hotter it gets, the worse it's gonna get. I mean,
Exactly. You know, John, when I learned years ago by Tony Humphreys, we would throw in there, leave your bell open, watch that high vis line, and count it. Count it down to 8, and you'd see that line jump, twitch, get slack in it. I mean, you better set the hook. I mean, just like watching a cork. Just cause it doesn't. If it does that, you better set the hook. I mean, it don't necessarily have to go under. That's the same way they're hitting that jig, without no live scope or nothing. People are line watchers. They make the best forward facing sonar people. I promise you.
My buddy Richie Bell, he's one of the best you'll ever watch. That son of a gun. Richie's a great fisherman, and he could throw a buoy marker out and fish a brush pile, and he'd watch that line, all the time. And he's got live scope now, but that sucker was still busting fish, when it wasn't available. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I understand.
He would cast in there and watch that line, and any deviation, and he'd catch that fish.
Well, that's how I learned, John. From Tony and going, and man, that's what it kind of reassures what you and I do with the jig when you see it on live scope, and it helps you teach somebody the techniques. And a lot of people move their jig too much, and it does tell on things you do wrong. So it does help correct some of that. And that's one good thing about it.
We had a couple spots, that when it was real muddy, back when we were just throwing buoys still, and we still had some long poles, and you'd ease that jig down in that brush. It'd be thick brush, and you'd watch, you'd ease it down. If that line ever did something different as you were lowering it, the fish had got a hold of it. And the same, you're easing it back up. So we dip down on the top, and it might be a limb you were sitting on sometime, but hook sets are free. So set the hook. You might get hooked up and lose the jig, but go down and then coming back up, same thing. You wouldn't necessarily feel a thump. That fish might come up and suck that jig up and ease it up, and the line would get a little bit of slack in it. Set the hook. That's the saying. Hook sets are free. Set the thing hook. Don't say, oh, I didn't feel anything.
Exactly. Hey, I fished with Billy Canada, one of my good buddies, and we were towing on a root ball, and these fish were lighting it up. And he goes, I can't see my jig. I was like, hell, it's in that fish's mouth.
Yeah.
His rod was bending. I was laughing. He was reeling, and his rod started bending down.
Like, yeah. I always tell Jessica, are you taking him for a walk? Set the hook.
That's exactly right. Hey, but man, it's fun to teach people, especially big bass fishermen. And Billy's a big bass fisherman. His son fishes the tour, and he goes with me, and he's gotten, man, he's a hell of a lot better now. But when we first started going, he would, he's used to bass thumping or grabbing or swimming, and the crappie bite's finicky sometimes. So, but hey, I try to teach as much people as I can, as far as but we talk about, like John says, we get in live scope conversations because that's the new age right now. But line watching, like somebody said, Chad said, when you're shooting docks, hey, line watching's the king, for sure. Oh, Byron said he's gonna be down there. I know they ran the Airbnb down there. Byron said he's gonna be there.
Byron's gonna he said he's leaving down there by Seminole like it early in the morning. He's gonna try to get here early. Him and Joey.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a good crew here this weekend.
Oh yeah. Byron's a super nice guy. Got a big Ranger with a 300 on. You can't miss him. Beautiful boat. He's helpful as they come. So
Byron, we might have to line them up. Jessica said, put me on the bank.
Hey, like Travis said, hey, we were talking about the way they bite. They don't have hands. That's right, Travis. They don't have hands, and they don't have sunglasses or eyelids. So, for sure. Man, I'm trying to think I don't think we missed anything. Like I said, we're going to be at Bridgeport Landing at 1:30 Saturday, April the 6th. That's this Saturday, right? There's a bass tournament down there, guys. Try to be respectful and don't tour. That place, that Bridgeport will handle 250 boats. It's huge. So there'll be a bass tournament coming out at 3, but they're going to be on the lower end. We're going to try to get on the upper end, be kind of respectful from them. But wherever you put in or whatever, it doesn't matter. There's all kinds of places to put in. We're going to be there about 1:30. So setting up and cooking a little snack. And
next week, we're going to have a unique opportunity to talk about something. we got a new thing. This pluck a duck. They're gonna release like a bunch of rubber ducks, and Roll Tide Willie is gonna be the one to select them out of the water.
Roll Tide Willie.
Yeah, and we're gonna have the sponsor of it. It's gonna come on. They're gonna give away a scholarship off of it, to a graduating high school senior. So, and Shane and I, we're gonna bring the guy that started this on for about 10 minutes. We're not taking the show's gonna be about crappie fishing, about what we've done this upcoming weekend. We're gonna talk about our good get together we had, but we're gonna have the guy on, and he's gonna work with as far as giving a scholarship away for through Kiwanis, the Kiwanis Club, and it's gonna be exciting. So we're gonna have him on next week. But we'll get back to fishing. But that's kind of something to think about next week. Listen in for that. I didn't know anything about this releasing ducks with numbers on it, and
I never heard of that. John asked me about it earlier when I spoke to him. I was like, who? But
yeah.
Hey,
but
if it raises money for a kid's scholarship, I don't care what they do.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, but they'll have 10 ducks that'll have big prizes attached to them. Yeah. And we're gonna promote it, and we'll put out more information as we get it. I'll send it, and Shane can post it too. But it's gonna be something interesting. We're just starting to get the info about it, but it's gonna be exciting. Shane, what depth of water, and what you gonna do when you get here?
Man, I don't know. I ran all over last weekend, last Saturday, but I will tell y'all, bluebird skies, man, you could just tell all the little fish were kind of up in the water column, and it took me all day to find some substantial fish. Now, we found some good ones when we found them, but I think a lot of fish were down in the mud. I talked to Travis. He told me he didn't catch a dozen fish or whatever, so I was like, hey, man, I knew it was tough. So, and if Travis fished down there a lot, he ain't got but a dozen. It was tough, but it's liable to change. I'm going to be looking in the 8 to 12 foot. I'm not saying some ain't shallow, but, the ones I caught last weekend were that deep, a foot deep and 8 foot of water. They were sunning, like John likes to say. That's what they were doing. They were up in the water column just sitting there sunning themselves. But I don't know. I'm going to be looking around. I may have to take the long rod out. I don't know. I covered some water last weekend, and they ain't no kidding, man. We covered some water. We were in Jason's boat and got it set up. We got that thing. We got his boat set up perfect, man. He's got a real nice Excel boat, 22-footer. We got his live scope tuned in. He's ready to go. So that was a good thing we accomplished. Hey, some oysters. Those Apalachicola Select oysters, they're raising them in ponds now. And I was like, we actually sat on the boat. He shucked oysters, and I was like, man, we spotlight this trolling motor. I was like, man, this is enjoyable. We can't do anything about the silly fish, but hey, we can, the time you have, you can control it. So we had a good time. But I'm going to be looking at 8, 12 foot of water. John will know a little bit more tomorrow. So John's going to go on, he's going to go on a sniper mission tomorrow. So he'll be able to move some water and move around. So cover some water, excuse me.
I'm gonna try to have it where everybody can, try to get on some fish.
That's right. I don't know how much water they're gonna be pulling on the river. Some docks are gonna have some fish on it, guys. I think we're gonna be blessed and won't have a lot of trash in the river, which is good. Last weekend there was a lot of trash still in the river. There's gonna be some bass boats down there, so be courteous to them. They're gonna be running around trying to catch fish, so they're always trying to pick up them. Hopefully, exactly.
The river's got a beautiful color to it right now.
Yeah.
You put it on a fish, they're coming. I got to see that. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, that water should be about right.
Yeah,
for sure. What's that?
She asked if we were keeping fish Saturday. I said, probably not. We're gonna be wide open. Getting, when we get off the water, we're gonna be ready to start cooking and stuff like that. So
that's exactly right. I may put some in the cooler. It just depends on what I get into. A bunch of eaters and stuff. Somebody must be kind of called John, but yeah, we're
about that.
there you go. You back quick. But yeah, hey, you want to keep fish? Great. We're gonna have some fish there to snack on. I got them thawing out there. I'm gonna coat them mustard and we're gonna put some fry on it. John's got some fries, so everybody get a little taste of fish. And it's just for a fellowship, guys. Let you put names and faces that enjoy the show and help us keep this show going. And people want to ask questions and.
Hey, and don't hesitate if you want to bring something, whether it be beans,
Yeah.
slaw.
We don't. Hey, we don't care. You can bring a cake. It doesn't matter. We're not. It's not going to be. Nobody's starving in my group. I promise you that. Like I said, we're not. It's not going to be bad. But we're just going to do it to have some fun. I mean, that's what we want to achieve with this thing. Just Bill, there might be some questions you don't want to ask on here, and you may think they're silly or whatever. Hey, man, ask them. You don't never know. So.
Absolutely. Heck, we all had those questions. I still got some. Like, I'd love to, I'd love to know where these fish go. Like right now, you can run out there and find a pile of small fish.
Yeah, that's the one that's left behind.
Yeah,
so
big ones at. I mean, I hope that I'm gonna be on a mission tomorrow to find them. But where did they go? Where were they when you couldn't find them? That's why everybody, all my friends that are serious about that, they'd love to put a tracker on a big one to see what it does.
Man, I ain't kidding. I'd pay top dollar to put a tracker on a 2.5 pounder and see where that thing goes. But I was watching a thing earlier, John. A guy caught a swordfish, not a swordfish, a swordfish, and he was like, he had a brush and was washing it. He said people don't believe that these things stay in the mud half the time. Even the ocean. And he took a brush and washed this thing, and there was so much mud come off that swordfish. It was crazy.
Well, I know that's a fact about the swordfish because I got a buddy of mine. He's a boat captain out of Venice. He said those things will go down, and then like at night, especially on a full moon, they come up to feed. And he said it's, dude, they're dropping like big weights, and they'll have like a certain pound test on there they're dropping like heavy cement filled cans to get their bait down quick, and they'll pop it, and it'll break that light pound test line, and their bait to be at a super depth,
right,
1,500 feet, whatever it is,
Oh, it's crazy. I was watching him wash it, and I was like, but that reminds me of crappie, guys. If you look, sometimes they'll have mud all over their belly where they've been just wallowing in the mud. I mean, it's.
I had some guys that were interested in open water fish and came with me about a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
2 months ago. And they said, I was showing them some fish that just on the bottom, off the bottom, white crappie. And they said, that's crappie. I said, yeah. I said, there's some down there below them you can't even see. I said, those suckers will sit down there and they'll just ease up off the bottom and they'll sit back down, ease up off. I said, they're waiting for the opportunity for those shad to come by. And we were in but like 8 foot of water. And I said, they're squat, come up. I said, when a bunch of shad come through, they'll come up off the bottom, sit there, gorge for a little bit, and then suck back down. I said, they're trying to stay out of the way of, whatever that's going to eat them. I said, but
big flathead or something.
That's right. Those white crappie are notorious for it. And there's a lot of those here. So, they'll suck down that bottom. They're not going to necessarily line up with that pole timber or that brush as much like, those black crappie will, or get out there, stacked up on that ledge, But that white crappie, she's probably sitting in there on that inside that flat, being lazy out of that current or whatever, suck down the bottom, and she'll just ease up a little bit to feed.
Yeah, somebody was asking MJ from YouTube, mustard. He was asking, I coat fish in mustard as a binder, MJ. I put a bunch of mustard on them, and before I put the fry on them, that's what I use for a binder, just like you would ribs or a butt or something. That's what I use it for, MJ.
If you don't like mustard, we'll do some.
We'll do some, yeah.
But you're not gonna taste the mustard.
No, you don't taste it. It's not. It doesn't. Let's see. Somebody's asking me about putting in. Rob Thumper Ryder said putting in Ellis this Saturday. Should I head up or down river? Man, I'll be. Rod, I can't tell you. I know as you get down river, it starts getting clearer, buddy. I will tell you that. Closer to the dam, it starts getting a little clearer. So, pick your poison. You know, I'll be honest with you. I don't know. Can't tell you. Out last weekend, I couldn't tell you exactly where to go, but
well,
pick you.
Shane, the fish I've dealt with so far haven't been spooky. So I mean, you know, I wouldn't let the water clarity scare me whichever way I went right now. So I'll say this: I ain't caught no dang 2-pounder yet. So
We caught 1 2-pounder last weekend and a couple good fish, and we just found them at 2:00. And the thing is, John, I'm not sure if they just come out of the mud at that time. I don't know. You know, did I time it just right or what? You know, I really don't know. But hey, I ain't gonna worry about it. I'm gonna go fishing. So let's see. Somebody's
hey,
asking.
if anybody wants to know where to come catch some buffalo, I've got you a spot.
Oh man, man, I tell you, you know, if if I knew if I knew how to catch all them carp and everything else, hey, you know, I would sure mess with them. You know,
hey, a hoop net, about 20 pounds of cheese. It'd be a 2-man pool to get in the boat.
well, you know, I watch them up north snagging those spoonbills, and I'm so jealous of that, guys, because there's so many down at Miller's Ferry. It is unbelievable.
Oh gosh, yeah. Oklahoma, they can do it. I want to get one so bad, but they'll tear your
They're
butt up.
everywhere. I accidentally hung on the tail on a stump. It spooled my butt. I thought, man, if I had me about 100-pound test and a deep sea rod, I'd bust it. I'd bust on them rear big old treble hook. But
I don't know if we ever talked about it before, but they take those spoonbill bills and they'll put it in there with Dermstead beetles and they bleach it, and it looks like a dreaming tree once it's done. It's very cool. They'll frame it on the wall. Yeah, I can't figure out how. I guess I'm going to go to Oklahoma to do it and bring back 10 folds of paperwork to have the one I want. So
yeah. You know, they used to have season open down there, and they said people come down here with gill nets and just abused it. And I'm sure I don't know the whole story. Big Daddy always told me about it.
Well, they were doing it for the roe, the caviar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they diminished population, but they need to come do a dang survey right now.
That's old Chad right there. He said, "Come see me. We need to make a trip up there, Chad, to put us on from Power Breaks, or put us on some. That's a good idea, Chad.
It is a good idea.
I get jealous, man. I see them snagging them things, and I see so many down here, Chad. I hate to hate on the fish, but man, I'm like, they're so plentiful. You know, they're everywhere.
Jessica and I know of a bend here on the Alabama River. You can go at sunrise or sunset, and it's just like they're jumping out of the water. Just doosh, doosh.
Oh, I know. They do it all summer.
Oh, it's wide open.
They do it in the mountains too, but Miller's Ferry probably got the biggest population in Alabama that I know of, you know, and Alabama River as a whole, you know.
Yeah. This place we're talking about is big ones. I mean, like 4-footers jumping.
Yeah,
and the most I've ever seen, though, as far as like a population, is down there on the Delta, you know, Tensas Delta area.
Right.
And they're not necessarily big, but there's so many of the smaller ones that'll be running inside the boat. You'll hear dunk, dunk, and you're like, what in the hell are they doing?
Yeah.
But it's spoonbills running inside of your boat.
Oh yeah, we'll go up there and see Chad, man. Hey, the good thing about it, hey, everybody's gonna get to put their hands on the power brakes. John's running them, I'm running them. Several people will be there that's running them. You know, a lot. I've had people message me and call me. Well, I'm so unsure, but hey, man, get in there. How do they deploy? How much do they weigh? Do I have to bend over? No. And I'm like, hey, man, look, just climb up in my boat, pull that cable, hit that switch. You know, just like Jessica. Jessica demonstrating the video y'all made. You know, just
Shane. I hope Chad remembers us, because he just had the brakes on the back of the Bassmaster Classic.
Oh yeah, sidekicks, yes.
Hamner, that was his last name, right?
Justin Hamner, yes.
Justin Hamner won the Classic, and there's an interview with Chad talking to him from Power Breaks about how it helped him win the Bassmaster Classic. So that doesn't tell you how much Power Breaks will help you. I mean, we're just little old crappie fishermen talking about it, but we can promise you, once you get them, you're like, what did I do before? You know.
Well, you know,
it's an awesome product. It's got a breakaway system. Like, all right, so where Shane and I will be fishing this weekend is pole timber. right up under the water, and it's gonna be the rough, probably
It's
as rough as you can be on equipment that you can be.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So Chad was smart enough to know how to, people gonna be fishing rough on the equipment. He made a breakaway system for these power brakes, so you can shear pin and not ruin a trolling motor shaft on the back of your boat, because that's what it is. It's trolling motors on the back of your boat to stop your boat. I've sheared them. I've taken off with them down and sheared them, and I haven't ruined a shaft where I was before. I just had like a trolling motor off the back of my boat. I take off with it down, tear up a shaft. We've been very fortunate, with what he provided to us. It's amazing equipment, and it's
big
all
time.
great.
Yeah, I got the first set he's ever sold on my boat. So, and you will see, I've hammered them things. They're still straight as a pin. I mean, that speaks volume. And I fished a lot of stumps with them. But, Justin Hamner's running a sidekicks on his power poles. But he tells in that video how it kept him steady on the brush pile. He never had to keep his trolling motor, his transducer off the fish. And that's where they come in handy, guys. It keeps it's just like somebody sitting back there with a paddle, stopping you and adjusting the back of the boat, and you're just concentrating on what you're doing, not worried about the boat drifting, not worried about the boat pushing up on the fish. I mean, it's another tool. Do you have to have them? No, but when you have them, just like Thomas Jackson was saying last weekend, I catch myself pushing the pedal and I forget to put them down, and I know I better go back there and put them down.
Here's what you hear. All right, people get forward-facing sonar no matter what you got. All right, this is what you hear all the time. I keep running over the fish. I keep running over the fish. Well, this is the tool to keep you from running over the fish. What happens, you come in hot, you see the brush pile, you see the fish, and you're like, I need to stop the boat. I don't want to turn the trolling motor around and backwash the fish. Well, you're mashing a button that's on the back of the boat to stop the fish with rear trolling motors, and you're stopping the boat. I don't know how else to explain it other than that. I ran over so many fish. I'm not gonna say I didn't get where I could, say, hey, I see it and I get the boat stopped. But it's easier when you're just hitting a button and stopping the boat, and you never have to take your eyes off of the fish.
That's right. Well, somebody was commenting on the nudge. Now they have a speed control for them. Man, somebody was asking about the wire and the nudge, man, if you get a hold of Chad, that will help you out, man.
Chad's got videos for everything.
He does.
He'll send you a video of, hey, this is what you need to do for this setup. This is what you do. Hey, my buddy, he texted us during this video while we're doing this. Yeah, as soon as we started talking about it, Waylon Browder, a good friend of mine, I helped him put his power brakes on. He said they're already making worlds of difference for him. He sent us a picture. I couldn't look at it because we're doing it with my phone here looking at it. But listen, all right, he just got a motor on the transom. Chad's got a bracket that goes in there with that system, and it says loosen up this side of the motor, do this, and you can wedge it. You can do it yourself.
I done it. Sure did.
And anytime you loosen a motor up from a transom, it kind of scares me. But hell, after watching the video that he sent me, I felt good about it.
I took a jack and put on my foot, and I loosened the bolts. And when it tried to kick down, I just jacked it up and got my bolts back lined up. And Neil Ford, he's got some sandwich place like you, John, for talons. He's got some 15-foot talons. He just got his stuff in for his power brakes. He's wiring them up today when I spoke with him. They got them for all applications. They have them power poles now. They have them for the Raptors now. The little sidekicks, if you already have them, which, man, you can install that in just a little bit. So, but that's just another tool, and it really does help you catch. It just makes you more consistent. That's the key to catching fish. Open water, brush pile, anything. Consistency and bow control is the name of the game, and then presentation of the jig. That I think that's the number one factors people have to spend time on the water to get better at. You can talk about it till you're blue in the face. You can be a professional. You can be an amateur. Till you learn bait presentation and boat control, it's not going to click till it clicks. And spending time, that's just the way it is. For sure. Let's see, man. I don't think I missed any questions.
Hey,
Go ahead, John.
We're gonna say it again. We mentioned it twice through the show. If you're coming to the thing this weekend, the CrappieKast get together, message us if you're gonna be able to go eat dinner tomorrow night, so we can try to make some kind of reservation.
Yeah. Tomorrow night or Saturday night?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Reservation.
Yeah, reservation to eat.
Yeah, tomorrow night. I'm gonna get down.
Saturday we're just gonna cook till we run out of food to cook.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right. But yeah, we'll go. Well, there'll be you got my number or John's number, and hey, we'll get together tomorrow evening. 7, 8 o'clock, whatever y'all want to do, and I'll try to. It might not be a huge group of us, but we'll go fellowship and go eat.
Yeah,
for sure. Well, the hour's gone by again that fast. It's crazy. I spent an hour on the treadmill this evening. I promise you it didn't go by that fast. I promise you. I was hurting, soaking wet. So we'll see you guys at 1:30ish, Saturday at Bridgeport Landing in Camden. Appreciate everybody tuning in. John, Jessica, y'all take care. Y'all need anything, you let me know, because I'll be coming down tomorrow evening for sure.
If anybody has any problems on the water while you're here, let us know. We'll find a way to get you help or come help you.
Yes, I promise you. Yeah, we don't mind boat issues, trolling motor issues, whatever, man. We want people to have a good time, but just try to, we'll try to get a group text going. If I know 4, 5, 6 people, we'll try to get a little plan together tomorrow night and go out to eat. And, try to get a game plan and everything. But 1:30, we'll be at the landing. But y'all sleep good in the bus tonight, there, John and Jessica. I know John's gonna go fishing. Jessica's got to go to work like myself, so yeah, exactly. But hey, I enjoyed it, guys. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate Buckmaster Property Group for coming on as a sponsor. She's fired up. I'm fired up, and we're gonna make a run at this thing and keep this thing growing. Appreciate the 100 people that were on here. Message me any questions you got, me or John, and we'll see y'all Saturday. Thank you, John.
Bye, buddy.
Bye, y'all.